On a Sunday afternoon not long ago, I was fixing my car's punctured tire. And suddenly a man busted open the door of a building wearing only his boxer shorts. A woman appeared by the busted door almost immediately, half naked, but the man was already running towards our direction, panting. The woman disappeared back inside the house like she was never there. Welcome to Lecture Part, where we talk about the joy, the pain, the plague, the gain, unforeseen circumstances, emotions that come to life when legs come apart. Now, before we get back to the half-naked woman and the runaway man, I would like us to look at a very important part of this video. A sex drive is one aspect that so many people don't consider before diving into a relationship, a marriage, or a union. And these have caused and still causing a whole lot of problems. Now, some people have high sex drive while some don't. In other words, making sure your sex drive matches with the sex drive of your intended bride, groom, or someone you want to start a relationship with is one vital key to having a healthy relationship. But don't get it twisted. A high sex drive does not always mean that someone is a nymphomaniac or is suffering from psoriasis. Keep in mind also that your health status matters a lot regardless of sex drive patterns. The word nymphomania, started ringing a bell to me way back when we were growing up. I came across psoriasis much later. Now, the word psoriasis means uncontrollable or excessive sexual drive in a man. Nymphomania pretty much means the same thing in a woman. That is a female equivalent of psoriasis. But in recent times, the term hypersexuality or sexual addiction is commonly used for a woman who is battling with nymphomania or a man battling with psoriasis, meaning having difficulty in controlling sexual fantasies, sexual urges. That definitely will affect you negatively. It could affect your health, your job, relationship, and a whole lot more. Although the causes of excessive sexual desire are unclear, but from my research, I came to understand the fact that the beginning of some of these compulsive sexual behavior is very exciting and enjoyable, blinding the victim. For example, masturbation, watching pornographic videos or images, cybersex, excessive use of sex toys, having more than one sexual partner. Now, when these conducts become of greater importance in your life and also difficult to control, disruptive or harmful to you or somebody else, then you may be suffering from nymphomania or psoriasis, otherwise known as hypersexuality or sexual addiction. And if it's not treated or handled properly, you've got a very big problem. And some of these behaviors starts from a very tender age, which is why parents need to be involved in teaching their children sex education. Matter of fact, they are the ones to start teaching their children sex education. I did a video on that. Now, struggling with compulsive sexual behavior vary. And studies have shown that the symptoms include the following: indulgence in sexual fantasies as a way of dealing with stress, not being able to control sexual urges. When you are still engrossed in sexual fantasies, regardless of the fact that you are having persistent financial, physical, or social problems caused by the behavior. When you are unable to rest, always irritated, stressed when you are unable to engage in the behavior. Not being able to complete goals, activities, or other obligations due to sexual fantasies. Putting yourself or others in a dangerous situation, physically or emotionally, while responding to sexual urges. Actually, a dangerous situation as such is what the man in boxer shorts was running away from. he had met more than his match, a woman who just doesn't get enough. So if you find or put yourself in these situations and it's been happening for a couple of months, then it's time to seek for help. Just imagine, you can contract HIV or other sexual transmitted infections and you may pass it to your spouse, your wife, your husband. It can also turn you to an alcoholic. You can be arrested anytime for sexual offenses. So many negative situations may arise. I used to think that diagnosing has to do with syringe and taking blood samples, stuff like that. As I grew older, I realized that even cars can be diagnosed. Now, if cars can be diagnosed, then sexual addiction can be handled, even though it's kind of difficult to pinpoint the exact cause or to determine when sexual behavior becomes problematic according to the psychiatric community. In other words, when you notice that you may be suffering from sexual addiction, or maybe your wife or your husband and somebody very close to you is telling you about your careless behaviors when it comes to satisfying your sexual urges, then you have a very important role to play by helping the therapist or the doctor to help you recover, because you might not have the opportunity of having someone to take it upon themselves to make sure you find help. One very important thing you should know when seeking for help is you are not the first, neither will you be the last person to experience sexual addiction. So you have to put shame away while seeking for help, because the longer you wait, the more dangerous it could get. And studies have shown that it could lead to depression, anxiety, severe self-torture, and suicide. It is important to emphasize that the diagnosis and treatment for psoriasis or nymphomania is best done by an expert sexual disorder therapist. Treatment begins with having a conversation with your doctor. Here, one has to relax and sincerely open up to the therapist. Do not conceal anything. Remember, patient's conversation with medical official is confidential. And besides, you are not the only one with this sexual condition. So go on, don't be shy. Don't ever consider any question private or personal. I hope this video was helpful. Drop your comments below and don't forget to like, share, subscribe, then press the bell for more videos on Let's Apart. I'll see you on the next episode. Bye for now.